Hello, students. A very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are in good health and taking great care of yourself. Welcome back to our English class. So, let's start our revision portion from today onwards, and we would be starting with our course book, that is New Pathways, Unit 5, Life Simple Comedies. And today we would be going through the summary of the chapter Bidesia Babu. Okay, so let's see the summary of the story Bidesia Babu. Bidesia Babu is a person whose actual name is not Bidesia Babu, right? He just got that name because once he traveled far away to a distant place through train, and he returned after almost 2 months, and he was wearing a hat on his head, and he was dressed up like an Englishman, and that was the reason that the villagers started him calling Bidesia Babu. This person was working two jobs. That means he was working as a geologist in government office, and during his free time he used to invent different things because he was an amateur inventor. He liked inventing different things which would solve the day-to-day life problems. Out of many inventions, one of his invention was the immediate upstart finder. Now this thing was very uh, nice, you can say. It started ringing whenever a bad guy or a villain kind of person or someone who is there to destroy something, if that kind of person comes around it, then it starts ringing just like an alarm clock. Okay, just like an alarm clock, the upstart finder would also start ringing as soon as something bad is going to happen. Okay, so one Sunday morning it so happened that it suddenly started ringing loudly. So Bidesia Babu just came outside his house to see what has happened, and there he saw some people coming towards him, and they complained that the government people are here to cut down the trees of the forest, and they all were against that. They didn't want them to cut off the trees because it's the part of the forest, first thing, and we cannot destroy that. And the second thing was, there was a tiger living in that forest, and if the space of forest is cut down, the tiger was about to come into the residential area, and if it so happens, people was very scared about that and they didn't want that thing to happen. So they just came to Bidesia Babu so that he can find out some solution. While when he was thinking about a solution, the two people named Khichdi and Motia, they both came up with a strange idea. In fact, Khichdi was the one who had some kind of strange idea, and he said that Khichdi and Motia, both of them, would be sitting at the edge of the forest and fast over there and chant mantras, and because of that the tiger would not come in the residential area, would not come in the village, and it would just run away from that place. Now his motive or intention was not good. Khichdi was kind of cunning person, while Motia was little bit honest kind of person. Okay, Khichdi wanted something from Bidesia Babu, and that's why he just told him that if we are able to make the tiger run away into the forest, right, then you need to give us some reward like kachoris, or you can also buy a ticket for the movies. And by hearing that idea, people of that village were ready to go ahead with it. And so Khichdi and Motia sat at the forest edge, and people started watching them. After some time, everybody returned back to their work, and Khichdi and Motia sat over there for a long time without eating food. But Khichdi was not able to stay hungry. And what he used to do, he used to go to the forest, and he would pretend that he needs to use the washroom, and he would go there for 1 or 2 hours and eat food and then come back and sit as if he is hungry. Now Motia was the only one who was honest and who did not eat for continuously 2-3 days. But Khichdi continued his activity, continued his cunningness. He daily used to go for 1 or 2 hours in the afternoon and go there and eat the food. Now all this thing was being noticed by the tiger, right? The tiger who was there in the forest, he noticed everything. He used to see this man and he thought that this person is having quite a flesh in his body, so I will just attack that person and I'll eat him, right? What he was planning, the tiger was planning to attack Khichdi and not Motia, because Motia looked quite lean and thin, and so he thought कि खिचड़ी को ही खाना चाहिए क्योंकि वो तो काफ़ी मोटा हो गया है. सो उसने ऐसा सोचा कि मैं उसके ऊपर ही अटैक करूँगा. राइट नाउ it started moving ahead, and as he was about to pounce at Khichdi, at that moment Motia's stomach started rumbling. मतलब उसका जो stomach था उसमें से आवाज़ें आने लगी, and that noise was आइडेंटिकल टू द रोर ऑफ द लायंस. ठीक है, जैसे कोई बहुत सारे लायंस काफ़ी दूर से आ रहे हो और उसका जो रोरिंग होता है वैसे वाला आवाज़ उस टाइगर को लगा कि वैसा आवाज़ आ रहा है. सो टाइगर वॉज फ्राइटनड that how will I fight? I can fight these two people, but how will I fight the pride of whole lions, right? So he thought that it's better to run away into the forest, and hearing that rumbling noise of Motia's stomach, the tiger ran away from there. And by seeing that all those things, and by that noise which Motia's stomach made, right, the rumbling noise, gave an idea to the Bidesia Babu to make another thing, to invent another thing, and that was rumbling revolver. Okay, so students, I hope that you are clear with this summary, and if you have any doubt you can contact me on my personal number and I will clear your doubt, or else we can do it in the class itself. And I won't be carrying out the exercises which are there in the course book, but yes, we are going to do the worksheet, that is worksheet 5 from your workbook, page number 56, because as I thought so कि ये वाला worksheet पहले हो चुका था by your previous teacher, but I don't think that it is done. So we would be moving ahead with the worksheet first and then we would go for the question answers. So let's see the worksheet. So here students, we need to read the passage and choose the correct answer from the questions given below. Iconic character Charlie Chaplin was known for his lovable tramp figure from vintage film footage. His father was versatile vocalist and actor. His mother, known by the name Lily Harley, was an attractive singer and actor who gained reputation for her work in the light opera field. Born to actor and musician parents, he was one of the greatest and most widely loved silent movie stars. Charlie was thrown to his own resource before he reached the age of 10, as the early death of his father and the subsequent illness of his mother made it necessary for Charlie and his brother Sidney to fend for themselves. Having inherited natural talents from their parents, the youngsters took to the stage as the best opportunity for a career. Charlie made his professional debut as a member of juvenile group called the Eight Lancashire Lads and rapidly became popular as an outstanding tap dancer. Chaplin was considered to be one of the most pivotal stars of the early days of Hollywood. So the word iconic here can be replaced by widely known. The word vintage, it can be replaced by period. The word versatile, that means multi-talented. Okay, multi-talented means one who possess many different skills. The antonym of the word attractive can be made by adding the prefix unattractive, right? Attractive ka antonym. The word resource can be replaced by means. The word subsequent can be replaced by ensuing. The word debut can be replaced by first appearance. The word juvenile can be replaced by young. And the word pivotal can be replaced by important. So these all words are the synonyms, right, of the words which are already there in the passage. Okay. Now let's move on to the vocabulary. Here they have given some words which we need to use it in the given blanks. Ours was known to be a very naughty class. Therefore, the teacher was puzzled to see us working quietly. Puzzled means surprised. The cricket team lost the match and this made them gloomy and dejected. Gloomy means sad. I am quite content with my job. I don't want to change it. Content matlab satisfied. What really irks me about traveling in public buses is when people squeeze into seats where there is no place to sit. Irks means irritate. Okay. And last one, where food is concerned, I have no particular likes and dislikes. I am quite indifferent to it. That means when we are talking about food, I don't have any particular likes or dislike. I am totally okay with whatever it is. I was terrified after watching the horror movie last night and couldn't sleep for a long time. Terrified means frightened. The actor's rude and insulting behavior enraged his fans and they boycotted his newly released film. Enraged means made everyone angry. My friend's mother was in the hospital and we were all very anxious about her health. Anxious means we all were very curious about her health. We felt stuck with the plan, so he said that he had no idea what could solve our problem and we were eager to hear him. We were excited, right? I was surprised by the change in her mood. Half an hour ago she was quite melancholy, but suddenly she looked upbeat about the journey. Melancholy means she was not quite happy, but now she was totally upbeat. Upbeat means she was quite excited and she was taking interest in the talks related to the journey. Now here the second exercise is what Mark Twain, the famous American writer, said about humorous stories. Complete the paragraph with the words given in the box and use the hints given in the brackets. There are several kinds of story, but only one difficult kind, that is the humorous. The humorous story is American, the comic story is English, and the witty story is French. The humorous story depends for its impact. Effect means impact upon the manner of telling. The comic story and the witty story is upon the dash, that is substance. So here we will use matter. The humorous story may be dash out of great length. Formed means here the word used for formed, or you can say the synonym can be spun. But the comic and witty stories must have to be brief. The humorous story bubbles gently along, the others burst forth. Burst means it suddenly comes to us. The humorous story is strictly a work of art, high and delicate. Fine means delicate over here. And only an artist can tell it, but no art is necessary in telling the comic and the clever story. Anybody can do it. The humorous story is told gravely, that means seriously. The teller does his best to conceal the fact that he at all suspects that there is anything funny about it. But the teller of the comic story tells you beforehand, in advance. In advance means beforehand, that it is one of the funniest thing he has ever heard, and then tells it with eager delight and in the first person to laugh when he gets through. That means when he is talking or when he is narrating the comic story, he might be the first one to laugh. Very often, of course, the dash and disjoint humorous story finishes with a sharp point and the listener must be alert. That means Rambling, wordy means it could be rambling. And disjointed humorous story finishes with a sharp point. That means that story would finish suddenly, so the listener needs to be alert. The humor will be entirely lost, that means misplaced over here, if the reader is not alert, or he may miss the final point. So these all exercises are students related to the synonyms and the meanings, in which we already studied before. Here vocabulary exercise is related to meanings, and the second exercise is related to synonyms. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is models from the grammar portion. As we have already studied from the course book, what are models, right? Models are the helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs, you can say, which comes along with the main verbs, right? They are used along with the main verb because they alone doesn't have any meaning. We can't use them alone, they don't have specific meaning, but it does come along with the main verb. And those model verbs fall under different category. So here we can see that we have different models like can, will, should, would, may, might, must, right? So there are many different models, and each different each different model expresses different things. It can talk about ability, it can talk about permission, request, suggestions, offer, decision, right? There are many things which it can talk about. For example, when we are talking about can be used to show the ability, or it is also used to make a request or ask a permission. In the same way, if we are talking about must, it is used for necessity, or it can also be used for prohibition, or when we are talking something to somebody, or when we are asking somebody to do something with force, right? When we are applying force, then at that time we can use must. We use should when we are giving advice to someone, or when we are giving suggestion to somebody, right? So there are different words which are used over here in this exercise, and we need to match it along with the column B, that what does it refer to. So let's see the first one. I can climb any tree. So here, student, what does it shows? It shows ability, that I can climb the tree. Mira could have become an astronaut, but she became a pilot. So that is a past possibility. That means it was possible for Mira to become an astronaut. May I borrow your pen today? Here, the third one is request, and it's a formal request. क्योंकि जब हम अपने फ्रेंड से बात करते हैं तो कभी कभी हम कैन भी यूज़ कर लेते हैं परमिशन के लिए या फिर रिक्वेस्ट के लिए. It might rain today. Now this is considered as logical deduction. Deduction means by seeing something you make it out कि ऐसा कुछ होने वाला है. That is called deduction. By seeing the clouds you can say कि हाँ भाई आज बारिश होने वाली है. ठीक है. You must take your medicine. So here you are using must to show the necessity, right? The front door was locked. The thief must have come in through the window. So here this is slight possibility, right? We don't know whether it is true or not. Shall I make you some tea? Well, that is a polite question, you can say, right? It's a polite question. The train should be here in a minute. Now that is an expectation, right? Expect कर रहे हम लोग कि ट्रेन शायद आ जाएगी अभी. I will return the library book after I read it. Well, that is future certainty because it will happen in future. I would rather study science than mathematics. So that is conditional. If I were you, I would study harder for exam. So that is preference. Right? So यहाँ पे would किसके लिए यूज़ किया गया है? Preference दिखाने के लिए. Now let's see the second exercise where you need to respond to the given statements or questions using the words in the brackets. Ricky never joins his friends for outings. Can't and job in the evening. So हमको रिस्पॉन्ड देना है, जो स्टेटमेंट है उसके रिलेटेड रिस्पॉन्ड करना है या क्वेश्चन बनाना है. राइट. सो अभी रिकी डजंट जॉइन हिज फ्रेंड्स फॉर आउटिंग्स. वाई ही कांट जॉइन? बिकॉज उसका जो जॉब है इवनिंग का, उस वजह से ही कांट, एज ही इज फ्री फ्रॉम हिज जॉब ओनली इन द इवनिंग. राइट. ही कांट जॉइन हिज फ्रेंड्स. वाई? एज ही इज़ फ्री फ्रॉम हिज जॉब ओनली इन द इवनिंग, क्योंकि वो शाम को ही फ्री होता है अपने जॉब से, इसीलिए. द डोर बेल इज रिंगिंग माइट माई सिस्टर. दैट मीन्स डोर बेल इज रिंगिंग, सो यू कैन जस्ट मेक अ स्लाइट पॉसिबिलिटी. अभी हमको पता नहीं कि दरवाजे के उस पार कौन है. राइट. तो हम सिर्फ एक पॉसिबिलिटी बता सकते हैं कि शायद वो मेरी बहन होगी. इट माइट बी माई सिस्टर. वी आर गोइंग टू द मून. नाउ when you say something like this, what would be the reply? You must be joking. Mom, I want to go out to play. So may and after finishing homework. So what would mother reply? You may, but only after finishing your homework. You may, that means you can, but only after finishing your homework. When is Sammy coming? So the answer would be she should be here anytime. You are putting on a lot of weight. So what should you do? I must exercise regularly. Or you can write you must exercise regularly. When you are going to finish your report? So the answer is I will finish it by afternoon. I will finish it by afternoon. I have had a headache for last 3 days. So what could be the suggestion you can give? You should visit a doctor. Let's go visit her unannounced. So when somebody is saying that let's go visit her unannounced, so another friend might say that it wouldn't be a good idea. So I guess it wouldn't be a good idea. Now the principal of a school is talking to the new students. Okay, school और school के students और principal के बीच में बात हो रही है. We need to complete the sentences with the modal verbs can, may, will, must, should or shouldn't. So let's see the first one. You must come to school regularly because a record of your attendance will be kept. That means it is necessary. Right? If you are absent, you must call a classmate or the school office to find out what you missed. Now that is also a necessity, right? इसीलिए हमने must use किया है. You shouldn't spend too much time in school chatting with friends. Now this is an advice that a principal is giving. So we have used shouldn't. You must not waste time watching too much TV at home. So that is also necessary that you shouldn't be wasting time. इसीलिए हमने must not use किया है. Your teachers dash keep a record of your co-curricular activities. So that would be will. That is future certainty कि वो होने वाला है future में. You may take leave if you require, but only with the prior permission of the class teacher. So you may take the leave. अगर तुमको चाहिए you can go, but only with the permission of the class teacher. So you are permitting over here. The principal is permitting or giving the permission. You should not force yourselves to study as this will make learning a chore. A good breakfast can help you learn better. And students will be expected to secure an A grade in at least 4 subjects to be considered for the school colors. Now here we need to put the modal verb in the correct form. combined with the verbs given in the brackets to draw the conclusion. So the first situation given over here is his room is in the mess. Now what could be the reasons? Well, let's see the first one. He must have been busy. He must be careless. Or there might have been some logical reason for it. Okay. The second situation is she cannot find her laptop. Why? Someone might have stolen it. है ना, किसी ने चोरी कर लिया हो. या she could have left it behind. Or she must have lent it to a friend and forgotten as usual. The next situation is she is shouting at the top of her voice. So she must be angry. She could have been scared. Or she may have been urgently in the need of help. The last situation is he wants to go home early today. So what it could be? He must be unwell or he ought to inform the boss. Right? अगर उसको घर जाना है तो he should. ought की जगह पर आप should be यूज़ कर सकते हो. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आप ought की जगह पर should be यूज़ कर सकते हो. ठीक है. And he may have some urgent work. Okay. So students, I hope that you are clear with it, and I request you to complete it if you have not done it, and if you have any doubt, please let me know.